The NBA playoffs have officially kicked off. We are going to be in for an exciting playoffs, to say the least. We have a number of exciting matchups, and we are going to be covering each and every one of them. And we're going to be covering each series in depth, and we're going to be covering some of the main games which are played. And we're going to be starting off with game one, the Pacers versus the Bucks. Pacers at home, Bucks away. And there's a lot to cover. I've taken some notes from the game. Obviously, Pacers running out and winning the game. They are dominant at home. They are a team who can, I think, possess a lot of really positive qualities, and we're going to get into what they have and what they need to harness to win this series, because it's very winnable for them, if I'm being honest with you. Obviously, the Bucks need to rely upon their superstar play, and that's what I think it comes down to. The stars and the superstars of the Bucks, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, versus the team synergy and quality that the Pacers have, because they have it and they have a play style that is very well defined, whereas the Bucks, without having Dame and Giannis, I don't think they can lay claim to the same. So first things first, I'm going to give the superstar his dues. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 14 from 23 from the field, absolutely amazing. He's a dominant force, physical, and always happy to go up against anybody. And he showed that today, because the Pacers aren't a small team, and they're ready for a fight. That's one thing I want to talk about. The Pacers aren't scared of being physical against Giannis. They're going to lose 7-8 times out of 10, but they will get some benefit from their effort, some benefit from their aggression. Miles Turner, yes, he's not going to be able to stop Giannis on a one-on-one basis consistently, but he can get the occasional stop. He can get the crowd involved, and that Pacers crowd, man, they can cause a lot of problems for Giannis. And one of the problems that he had, which was glaring, and one he needs to sort out, is his free throws. They're not good enough. He left a number of points on the board, and not only does that change the momentum of the game, it leaves his team in a disadvantage. These are points that they desperately need. You're looking at someone like a Kyle Kuzma, for example, 5 shots in the game, 0 points. You're looking at a Taurean Prince. He took 1 shot all game. These are people who are meant to be your starters, contributing, let's say, 10 points each. You would expect a Taurean Prince to get you, a Kyle Kuzma to get you. Add 20 more points onto the Bucks scoring, you're looking at a completely different game. However, that's not the case. These players, I don't think, are going to be able to produce on a consistent basis. Yes, they can produce at home when the Bucks would expect their role players to produce at a high level, but consistently, I don't think they're going to average their 10 to 12 points in the playoffs that you probably would need, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. Same with Brook Lopez. The age, the ability, the impact, I think, is waning, and I think this is a series that will show that the Bucks haven't built a team. They've got individual parts which could potentially work well with Giannis and Dame, but as a team, they're not set up for success. They're a team that look like they try, but don't have the necessary synergy to go where they want to go, and maybe not even have the right skill set or talent surrounding those two players. But that's a hell of a platform to be on. And with just Giannis itself, I would expect a lot more output. I will speak about the bench. Bobby Porter's coming back in. Again, not having the impact he should be having, a number of missed shots. He's going to have to be consistent. He's going to be having to be one of those players, again, who's scoring 10 to 15 points a game if the Bucks want to do what they say they want to do. Gary Trent was really good. I would actually insert him into the starting lineup. Ryan Rollins was okay, nothing exceptional. I would give more minutes to someone like a Gary Trent. Kevin Porter Jr. didn't have the necessary efficiency that you would want, but he wasn't scared of a moment, which I think a team like the Bucks desperately needs, especially with Dame being out. But AJ Green, I'm a big fan of his, was a flamethrower, defended really well, and he's the gritty players that they're going to need. The 10 to 15 points players that I've already spoken about, he is one that I can say I trust a little bit more. His defense, his ability to shoot, I hope he would be that consistent threat for them, but he's one of many. A committee of maybe 4 or 5 players on the Bucks. Key thing is they're going to need Dame back. We've got warning and word that he will be back by a 2nd or 3rd game after his injury and the blood clot issues. So hopefully he's going to come back, and the Bucks, I don't think, win without him. I'm being honest with you. Giannis can take this to 7, but I think the Pacers will win just because of their team synergy. Talking about the Pacers, man, I was really impressed with a number of players here, and I'm going to talk about specifically the guard play. I spoke about here, the Indiana guards are so good, different in nature. I want better from Tyrese, if I'm being honest. His efficiency wasn't there. His 3-point shooting was absolutely atrocious, 0 from 7. But if he's not hitting his threes, he needs to get into his mid-range game. He needs to get his floaters at a consistent level, and his playmaking is always going to be there. Don't get me wrong, but I need a bit more when it comes to that shooting. Nemhard and TJ McConnell were absolutely amazing, and they're two players who aid that guard rotation when Haliburton isn't doing what he needs to be doing from a shooting standpoint. TJ will facilitate. He does very well at doing that. Nemhart as well. But TJ just leads that second unit very, very, very well. He's going to have to work with the pieces that he has. Benedict Mathurin, again, I spoke about him being someone that I was really, really impressed with. He needs to play to the level that he played at the regular season. He had his best efficiency and I believe his best scoring season as well. And it needs to continue because he will be a key person off that bench. Him and TJ can create their own offense. I can't say the same for many off that bench. Obi Toppin, I think, needs to be fed. Same with Walker, same with Frappy. They all need to be fed in ways. And I think he would be a key piece in terms of where they go. I've already spoken about Miles Turner. I always think he should do better on the rebounding side of the ball. However, he was there to compete with Giannis. Siakam was there to compete. Again, there's no physical match for him, if I'm being honest with you. He will outpower all of them. However, the consistency was there. The effort was there. The energy was there. And when you got a crowd like the Pacers crowd, like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And if the Bucks are going to steal a game, they're going to need a monster performance, not only from Giannis, not only from Dame. They're going to need some of those players, at least two of them, to step up and really deliver a 15-point plus game, as well as some stellar defense. Another thing I want to talk about quickly is I said that the Indiana Pacers thrive in chaos. They thrive in chaos. They want the fast-moving games. And the Bucks are chaotic because they don't know what they're doing. Their offense doesn't seem to have a structure, especially without Dame. The ball didn't seem to move really quite seamlessly. You're looking at 15 assists across the whole of the game in comparison to 28. And it just shows that the ball movement was there, the playmaking was there. Giannis only having 1 assist is a problem. No one in the team having more than 5 assists, which is Kevin Porter Jr., is a problem. You would expect more from the Bucks, and it just wasn't there, to be honest with you. A couple other things to mention: Bucks have to hit their threes. They have to hit their threes. I think they did pretty well in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken, but it was an awful showing. You're looking at the consistency that they had: 9 for 37, 24.3%. Pacers, what did they shoot at? They shot at a 38.2% clip, which is a lot better. And again, they're the home team. You would expect a higher level of 3-point shooting. It's always harder for road teams, and the series has just started. But I think Indiana are here to play, and this is one that's probably going to go 6 or 7, and I think it's on the Bucks to do their job to take it to that. If I'm being honest with you, I think the Pacers will be there. That chaos is a benefit and a curse because they got out of control in the third. Here we have the team stats. And you can see in all of the key metrics, essentially: field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. Again, the Bucks were down. Their efficiency wasn't there. They fought hard, as you can see, did pretty well on the boards. I would say the Bucks should have the better rebounding, but that's kind of solely based on Giannis. I don't really see any other big rebounder outside of him. Brook doesn't necessarily dominate the rebounds as much as he did previously. And so if Giannis is going to be battling, he's going up against Siakam, he's going up against Turner, who again aren't the massive rebounders that you would expect. So I see that not being a major difference. The assists, glaringly obvious as well. Turnovers were fairly consistent as well. Fast break points, we spoke about the Pacers loving to play in chaos, and they do it so well. And I think it was the third quarter where Indiana got out of control. So they were dominating, they were playing their fast basketball, they were playing chaotic basketball very early on and were dominating. However, in the third, they lost a lot of control. They did rein that back in the fourth. And listen, I have a lot of respect for how the Pacers go about their business. I really do. I don't think they're a team that's going to blow the Bucks out for 4 games or 5 games, because they have a level of inconsistency. They have a level of playing a little bit too fast for their own good. And I think at home, they're going to be very, very good. Away from home, they're going to have their struggles. And I think it's just up to the Bucks to make this competitive. They need Dame back. More of the story, more of the games, they need Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, your team needs you. Hopefully you come back soon. Guys, we're going to be covering the Clippers versus Denver game. I'm excited for that one. I'll catch you soon. It's been EDA. Peace.